Chapter 21. Manasseh was 12 years old when he began to reign, and his mother's name was Hephzibah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. For he built up again the high places which Hezekiah his father had destroyed. And he built altars in the house of the Lord, and he built altars for all the hosts of heaven in the two courts of the house of the Lord, and he made his son pass through the fire. And he set a graven image of the grove that he had made in the house, of which the Lord said to David and to Solomon his son, Neither will I make the feet of Israel move any more out of the land which I gave their fathers. But they hearkened not. And the Lord spake by his servants the prophets, saying, Because Manasseh king of Judah hath done these abominations, therefore thus saith the Lord God of Israel, And I will stretch over Jerusalem the line of Samaria, and I will forsake the remnant of mine inheritance. 15. Moreover, Manasseh shed innocent blood very much. Now the rest of the acts of Manasseh. And Manasseh slept with his fathers. Amon was 22 years old when he began to reign, and his mother's name was Meshullemeth, the daughter of Haruz of Jotbah, and he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, and he walked in all the way that his father walked in, and served the idols that his father served, and worshipped them. And he forsook the Lord God of his fathers, not in the way of the Lord. And the people of the land slew all them that had conspired against King Amon. Now the rest of the acts of Amon which he did, and he was buried in his sepulchre in the garden of Uzzah, and Josiah his son reigned in his stead. Chapter 22. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign, and his mother's name was Jedidah, the daughter of Adaiah of Bozkath. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord. And it came to pass in the 18th year of King Josiah, Go up to Hilkiah the high priest, and let them deliver it into the hand of the doers of the work, and let them give it to the doers of the work which is in the house of the Lord, unto carpenters, and builders, and masons. Howbeit there was no reckoning made with them of the money that was delivered into their hand. And Hilkiah the high priest said unto Shaphan the scribe, and Shaphan the scribe came to the king. And Shaphan the scribe showed the king, saying, And it came to pass, and the king commanded Hilkiah the priest, Go thee, inquire of the Lord for me. So Hilkiah the priest, and Achbor, and she said unto them, Thus saith the Lord, Because they have forsaken me. 18. Because thine heart was tender, behold therefore, I will gather thee unto thy fathers. And they brought the king word again. Chapter 23. And the king sent, and they gathered unto him all the elders of Judah and of Jerusalem, and the king went up into the house of the Lord. And the king stood by a pillar, and all the people stood to the covenant. And the king commanded Hilkiah the high priest, and he put down the idolatrous priests, and he brought out the grove from the house of the Lord, and burned it at the brook Kidron. And he brake down the houses of the Sodomites, and he brought all the priests out of the cities of Judah, and brake down the high places of the gates that were in the entering in of the gate of Joshua the governor of the city. Nevertheless, the priests of the high places came not up to the altar of the Lord in Jerusalem. And he defiled Topheth, which is in the valley of the children of Hinnom. And he took away the horses that the kings of Judah had given to the sun, and the altars that were on the top of the upper chamber of Ahaz, which the kings of Judah had made, and the high places that were before Jerusalem, which Solomon the king of Israel had builded for Ashtoreth, the abomination of the Zidonians. And he brake in pieces the images. Moreover, the altar that was at Bethel, both that altar and the high place he brake down, and as Josiah turned himself, he spied the sepulchres that were there in the mount. Then he said, What title is that I see? And the men of the city told him, It is the sepulchre of the man of God, and he said, "Let him alone." So they let his bones alone, and all the houses also of the high places that were in the cities of Samaria. And he slew all the priests of the high places that were there upon the altars, and the king commanded all the people, saying, Surely there was not holden such a Passover, from the days of the judges that judged Israel. But in the 18th year of King Josiah, moreover, the workers with familiar spirits, and all the abominations that were spied in the land of Judah and in Jerusalem. And like unto him was there no king before him, notwithstanding, the Lord turned not from the fierceness of his great wrath. And the Lord said, I will remove Judah also out of my sight. Now the rest of the acts of Josiah. In his days, Pharaoh Necho king of Egypt went up against the king, and his servants carried him in a chariot dead from Megiddo. And the people of the land took Jehoash, the son of Josiah. Jehoash was 23 years old when he began to reign. And his mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. And Pharaoh Necho put him in bands at Riblah, in the land of Hamath. And Pharaoh Necho made Eliakim the son of Josiah king in the room of Josiah his father. And Jehoiakim gave the silver and the gold to Pharaoh. Jehoiakim was 25 years old when he began to reign. And his mother's name was Zebudah, the daughter of Pedaiah of Roma. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. Chapter 24. In his days Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came up. And the Lord sent against him bands of the Chaldees. Surely, at the commandment of the Lord came this upon Judah, and also for the innocent blood that he shed. For he filled Jerusalem with innocent blood. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoiakim, and all that he did. So Jehoiakim slept with his fathers, and Jehoiakim his son reigned in his stead, and the king of Egypt came not again any more out of his land. Jehoiachin was 18 years old when he began to reign, and his mother's name was Nehushta, the daughter of Elnathan of Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. At that time the servants of Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came up against Jerusalem. And Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon came against the city, and Jehoiachin the king of Judah went out to the king of Babylon. And he carried out thence all the treasures of the house of the Lord. And he carried away all Jerusalem. And he carried away Jehoiachin to Babylon, and all the men of might, even 7,000. And the king of Babylon made Mattaniah his father's brother king in his stead. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he began to reign, and his mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. For through the anger of the Lord it came to pass in Jerusalem and Judah. Chapter 25. And it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, and the city was besieged unto the 11th year of King Zedekiah. And on the 9th day of the 4th month the famine prevailed in the city, and the city was broken up. And the army of the Chaldees pursued after the king, and overtook him in the plains of Jericho, and all his army were scattered from him. 6. So they took the king, and brought him up to the king of Babylon to Riblah, and they slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes. And in the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, and he burnt the house of the Lord. And all the army of the Chaldees, that were with the captain of the guard, now the rest of the people that were left in the city, but the captain of the guard left of the poor of the land to be vinedressers and husbandmen, and the pillars of brass that were in the house of the Lord, and the pots, and the shovels, and the smuffers, and the spoons, and the firepans, and the bowls, and such things as were of gold, the 2 pillars, 1 and the bases which Solomon had made for the house of the Lord. The height of the 1 pillar was 18 cubits, and the chapiter upon it was brass, and the height of the chapiter 3 cubits, And the captain of the guard took Sariah the chief priest. And out of the city he took an officer that was set over the men of war, and the principal scribe of the host, which mustered the people of the land. And Nebuzaradan captain of the guard took these, so Judah was carried away out of their land. And as for the people that remained in the land of Judah, and when all the captains of the armies, they and their men, even Ishmael the son of Nethahiah, and Johanan the son of Kareah, and Gedaliah sware to them, and to their men, and said unto them, Fear not to be the servants of the Chaldees. Dwell in the land, and serve the king of Babylon. But it came to pass in the 7th month, and all the people, both small and great, and the captains of the armies, arose. And it came to pass in the 37th year of the captivity of Jehoiachin king of Judah. And he spake kindly to him, and changed his prison garments, and he did eat bread continually before him all the days of his life. And his allowance was a continual allowance given him of the king.